at row 1 that Becky will be forced to do. 9 energy tanks. It's a lot of collection. Brinstar map, not too bad. That's right on your way. You can pick that up pretty easily. Finish in Metal Pirate Room, so she'll be heading down to Lower Norfair. Only one of speed or grapple, and has to collect all 4 beams, which has you running all over the place.
Yeah, the biggest thing I see about row 1 that is one of the things I always look for. You have to go to Meridia and you have to go to Lower Norfair. That's usually a route you never want to have.
Yeah, yep, for sure. And having to get Plasma means not only have to go to Meridia, but you have to kill Dragon and run all the way to Plasma, pick it up. It's a lot of running around. It'll be interesting to see what they pair with it.
Yeah, the row 1 actually does force you to skip some things because there's a skip charge beam and a skip wave beam, and clearly not a choice if you have to get all of them.
Right. And of the two between speed and grapple, my assumption is that WhiteMageBecky will pick up speed. So, in fact, just kind of thinking about that. Oh, nope, she can't do column 2. Oh, column 2 would have been so good if she didn't have to skip wave beam.
Yeah, I would say row 2, even though it doesn't intersect, would actually not be too out of the way for anything if you can do Wreck Shift early.
Yeah,
because you will have to get a couple of reserves, but you're already going to get the E-tanks anyway, and you're going to be getting space jump anyway, since you have to get them.
Yeah, and I think Becky definitely is a high enough caliber runner to do Wreck Shift first. So we'll see. She may choose to do that. Hello, Mystic Elf 88.
Yeah, the BLTR diagonal actually does look pretty. What were you going to pair with column 4 though? Because there's so much collection, and that's I just didn't want to see anything like that. 40 power bombs is just always a problem.
Yeah. So column 4, the collect X energy tanks and 11 minus X reserves actually isn't that bad. It's about the same as 9 energy tanks. And actually, if you look at column 1, like 9 energy tanks and 2 reserves would fulfill that. 60 Brinstar missiles wouldn't be great though.
Yeah, since column 4 isn't forcing any regular missiles, I don't think you'd want to be going for anything that makes you get a lot of missiles. You're already picking up so many.
Yeah. Might be that row 2, actually. If you go Wreck Ship first, pick up high jump speed and space jump, which you generally have to get. And, well, Skarsnik has to collect, speed booster, but we'll probably get high jump and space jump as well, since... wait, they actually don't have any bosses in any of their rows, any of their tiles.
Yeah, there's a defeat Ridley in column 3 or row 5, but I don't think either runner is going to be selecting that. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Yes, in the top left, that is a 9 energy tanks. And then, if anyone's a little confused about that, down at the bottom, collect X energy tanks and 11 minus reserves. It's just basically between energy tanks and reserves, you need a. Yeah, I think that Becky's might be doing that diagonal, the BL to TR, or like I was saying, maybe the row 2. I'll see a lot of things that pair super well without going out of the way or collecting a lot of extra.
Yeah, BLTR would be pretty good if you go Wreck Ship first, come back, destroy the statue, pick up some energy tanks in Brinstar, and then head towards Lower Norfair to finish in Metal Pirate Room. Do we have? We don't have Criteria Map Station on here, so we won't get to find out if they're doing that right away. That is one of those tiles that people often forget that they need to do as they go up climb. This part of the game is so much muscle memory that you sometimes forget you're in dab and you just keep going, and then you realize you're supposed to stop and get the map station.
I mean, especially anything, especially if it's not any percent, but non-item things like map station rooms or refill rooms, you're never gonna get to go there in 100% or any percent. Usually, you see people pause or look up a map.
Yeah, that's very true. I think the Meridia map station is probably the one that is most hidden.
Definitely a hard one to remember exactly. I think Meridia just has a lot of hidden stuff in particular. If you're looking for one particular room or one particular item,
Yeah,
like the power bomb, the reserves, or the super.
yeah. If you didn't get lost in Meridia the first time you played this game, then you were some sort of cosmic brain player for sure.
I couldn't even imagine beating this game casually. The first time I actually beat this game was learning the 90% route from Golden back in.
Oh wow. WhiteMageBecky with a real nice BT fight heading out. Likely just going to be heading to pick up early supers, and the route could diverge in several ways after that, depending on what row or column she's doing.
Yeah, I would say for Waymage Becky, it's probably going to be mostly an 80% route with some extra item pickups. Because there isn't anything in the force row other than energy tanks that really makes you do other things.
Mm-hmm. In fact, if she could find a way, she could actually skip all of Rekship and Meridia, and just get Varia and high jump boots. Oh wait, she has to get plasma. Never mind. Nope, no, she can't.
Yeah, getting plasma, that'd be adventurous to see if that was going to be fast.
Yeah, that would likely not be fast. But she will have to remember to visit the Brinstar map station here. That is to the left.
Yeah. You see Skarsnik didn't Alcatraz out, and I couldn't look up any of his time, so I'm curious what kind of experience of things Skarsnik has. Looks like he's having a little trouble figuring out where he wants to go.
Yeah, he is trying to make decisions, which, as you do dab, if you're not as familiar with it, it can be really confusing to figure out, like, on the fly as you play. And he's arm pumping down Terminator, which generally is a bad time. You can arm pump through a few sections of it, but you have to stop at specific times. Becky went ahead and picked up the reserve tank. This could be for column 1 or row 2. Could also be for row 5 or column 4. I doubt she would voluntarily do the column that she assigned to Skarsnik. It could also just be for safety for Rekship if she's doing early Rekship.
Oh. And she also can't do column 4 because she does have to pick up all the people.
That is true. So that would be a bad idea.
Although I did not see WhiteMageBecky get that Brinstar map station.
I did not either. She might be coming back, knowing she has to get a bunch of energy tanks. Is just going to do it later.
That makes sense to me. After you get through Meridia, you have the speed booster. You can pick up a lot of the Brinstar energy tanks on the way back before you go to the Metal Pirates.
Yeah, even if she just went Rekship first and then came back and looped through Brinstar with power bombs, so she can grab Edikun and Wave Gatey tank.
Yeah, you see Skarsnik got his early supers going through. Looks like he, even though he got a little bit lost early, is familiar with a lot of the tricks and is ready for this.
Yeah, I did look up. He has a time on speedrun.com. I think it was an hour and 6 minutes or so, but it was a few months old, so I'm not sure how up to date it is. And I'm also not sure how much of an any percent runner Skarsnik is. It might just be doing other categories.
Yeah, this is definitely the one format of race where it's not just about what category you run and how good are you at it. Because this is something anyone who does a lot of randomizers has a lot of experience. Anything like that is just going to really be helpful. And just looking at 80% leaderboard time, not going to give you the full.
And Skarsnik is picking up these Brinstar missiles, which he doesn't have anything about collect a lot of missiles. He does have to skip charge beam though, so he might just be picking them up for ammo. Or he might be doing something with that collect all 60 Brinstar missiles tile. Maybe he's doing row 3 or column 1.
He could just be collecting a lot of ammo. Think if he wants to skip that Various suit and knowing he has to go into some pretty hard sections later, since he
Yeah,
can't
for
get.
sure. Yeah, Becky has to get charge beam. Skarsnik has to skip charge beam, so that'll get unmarked shortly for you. The bingo sync is a restream of a restream of a restream, so even when it gets updated quickly, it takes a little while for the changes to get reflected on stream. But it is coming. I can see it.
Yeah, I know that they tend to not until you actually pick up the item, they don't make the. Right, let's see how Becky wants to cross the moat early.
Yeah,
that looks like a good jump for a CWJ. First try, I would be amazed.
It's got that fanfare in the way. Hopefully, she gets it. Oh, got the wall jump check, but couldn't quite get the 2-frame jump.
That is definitely a very difficult trick that if you don't do certain non-speedrunning things, you may never have ever.
Oh, going for the bomb jump that time, but a little bit off the pillar. And
that makes sense to me to try each one once. Oh.
Yeah, I think if you land on the pillar, oh, there she goes. Nicely done. Getting the in-room setup even, which is pretty tough. The timer is trying its hardest. Good job, Skarsnik timer.
The timer is enjoying Memorial Day weekend and having a couple extra.
I believe that is Ponk's timer, yes. And it looks like Skarsnik's going to pick up Spazer as well.
Definitely curious on why you want to pick up Spacer. Maybe just to make some of the in-game normal enemy interaction a little better, save some ammo.
He could be doing bottom left, top right.
Can't get charge, so.
Oh yeah, no, he can't. I think I said that earlier. Just listen.
You know, that's not a common square. I'm not surprised that you keep doing that.
I mean, I know our runners have to keep this all straight in their head and do the play the game as well. But as a commentator, it's even tougher, right? Like we have the hardest job here. I think. Is that not true?
I don't get CWJ on my third try usually, so I'm gonna disagree at least on some of this.
All right, Becky is going in with 131 health, which is 4 hits. Yeah.
Omega, the bottom square for Skarsnik's force column basically says between your reserve tanks and your regular energy tank, you need 11 in whatever way you want to do it.
Very, very nice, safe first round from Becky, not taking any hits. Very clean so far. Yes, Skarsnik could do top left, bottom right. And Becky actually using Fantoon to farm health with such a clean fight.
Skarsnik missed in the quick kill, which always a little. It's more scary than you think it's gonna be versus Crane without a suit early.
Yeah, he does a surprising amount of damage. And especially without charge, you can't freeze his arm down. Ooh, those spikes are dangerous. Careful. Oh, Skarsnik, please be careful.
Meanwhile, Becky cleaning up a very clean fight.
Oh god. Skarsnik, you're giving me a heart attack here. Oh, get that health. Okay. So it's a little bit.
And he remembers to
Lift
jump to the left to avoid the spikes as they disappear. That was
And
intense from Skarsnik.
yeah, absolutely, totally fine. Never a problem. Totally in hand the entire time.
Yeah, I do gotta say, for Skarsnik, there's some small things in that kind of situation that you might forget about. Like, he got enough health to not get health bombed. So he does leave this with some ammunition.
Becky trying to go for the ceiling clip there, and you got to be just in the right spot. There she goes. Now she got it. So Becky picked up the missiles to the left of the main shaft in Wreck Ship. So we'll see if she also picks up the robot worker missiles, which will tell us that she might be trying to do that row too.
It does seem that way. She does have the power bomb to go get the one before the reserve. You only need the speed booster to get the actual reserve, not the missile right before.
Mm-hmm. And since she also already has to get plasma, getting space jump is free. And I know Becky has run a lot of 100%, so she knows how to route things in really well. She knows where everything's at. She knows how long things take, and so I would not be surprised. It's a little bit disappointing if you take a row and a column that don't overlap at all. If she's doing row 2, but if it's the fastest one, it's the fastest one.
Yeah, just because they don't have a direct overlap doesn't mean they synergize enough where it's not worth picking. Something I think a lot of runners won't even think about looking, but you should always look at all the spaces and see if there might be a better choice.
Yeah. Yeah, Morganoth. That's what we're postulating is that she's doing row 2 along with her forced row 1.
Yeah, that's something I always try to think about when I'm seeing this stuff. If I see like you gotta get plasma, well then you're gonna get space jump anyway. See if there's, even if it's not directly in line, like those major goals like space jump and Ridley.
Becky needs more health here. Okay, she's gonna farm some more. Good. She'll take 60 damage from the spikes in the bowling room, so she needs to have at least 120, and 180 would be much safer. We'll see if she decides to continue to farm or if she's going to go with 180. Oh, she's got full reserve.
Yeah, full reserve.
And WhiteMageBecky confirming in chat that she is indeed doing top 2 rows. So, no mystery. Oh, careful. All right, she made it. Wow. Barely missing that last spike. I know her reserves would have kicked in, but that would have been...
I'm surprised that she didn't hit the spikes at the end.
I think that was a fortunate hitbox, is what that was. There is a My Little Pony walking on the ceiling on Skarsnik's screen, yes.
I'm like trying to think about the routing and think of good commentary, but then this timer keeps doing stuff and I just lose my train of thought sometimes.
You know, it's not often we're almost 20 minutes into the race and we have three squares marked total between the two runners. All right, there's the 4th square with Becky picking up the last of the wreck ship missiles.
Yeah, I do like Becky's route as it appearing to be doing a super clean early wreck ship. Going to be able to go back and get a lot of the collection. Seems very straightforward how it's going to play out. So I wonder if Skarsnik's going to be able to make some time up in a way that I'm not seeing, because I'm still not 100% sure what he's aiming for.
Yeah, those 40 power bombs are going to take a long time, especially if he's avoiding Lower Norfair. There's 2 power bomb packs in Lower Norfair, and so if you skip those, you have to get every other power bomb pack in the game. 5 of them in Brinstar, I believe. There's 1 in Upper Norfair at Croc, and then 1 in Meridia. Oh, Becky has reserve. She's fine. Don't worry. I have that emergency beep is the thing of nightmares to a Super Metroid runner. And Skarsnik finally getting that wall jump up to go get this reserve and missiles.
So I'll put Skarsnik at 2 reserves, which is going to help him for his bottom tile to get the 11 tanks. But he would also complete that 2 reserves. So I'm curious what his second row is going to be. I'm actually starting to think maybe getting a column 1 for Skarsnik might not be bad, since he does need to do a lot of collection anyway. Getting E-Tanks and Brinstar and picking up the missiles probably isn't that bad.
Yeah, and he did pick up a lot of the Brinstar missiles, so he may be thinking about doing that.
The only thing that concerns me about doing something like that is, like, you gotta know how to get out of Dragon without space jump, which can be a pain.
He's got speed though, so he should be fine. Worst case scenario, he could do a short charge and spark out. Oh, and I guess Becky doesn't care about these missiles. Like my 100% runner freaked out when she was on the right side, but she doesn't actually care about them. So she's just gonna get down very quickly and move on.
If I'm doing 100%, that's not the missile attacks I'm stressing out about. There's one I always forget in criteria.
Is that? Oh man, that could be anything. Is that the old Mother Brain?
The bomb tutorial missiles at the very.
Oh. And there's Becky remembering to pick up the Brinstar map station, so good job not forgetting that. And she does not have to actually interact with the map station, just has to go in the room.
It still does not make sense to me.
It's just you just need to see it, right? That's all it is. It's like a scavenger hunt, right? Where you go and you take a picture of something. She just has to go take a picture of the map station to prove she was there. And that's it.
There are no tiles that force you to go to Turian, because no one would ever take them. It takes way too long.
Well, actually, everyone would take them, because everyone get assigned them by their opponent every time.
That's more true.
And we'd end up just running 100% is what it would be.
The closest you're ever going to get to Torian is the Golden Force statues being destroyed, which you can see over the bottom left of the card. Destroy one statue. That's what that means.
And Becky's going to pick up these supers.
I just got a little sad realizing there's no Visit the Critters.
Yeah, and we're not even going to see the Edicoons. The clearly superior of the two critters. I am a little curious as to why Becky picked up those supers. Unless she's changed her mind and is doing column 2.
I think it just might be collecting, because you need to get the E-tanks anyway, so you're going to be right there. It'll help speed up the Dragon fight since its supers are faster than the other. I see Becky trying to do a setup to not need Wave Beam.
Oh yeah, that's right. She can't do column 2, she'd have to skip Wave Beam. Maybe she just wanted the supers for the gate glitch to make sure that she had enough supers to get through it. I keep forgetting about the skip Wave Beam thing. I apologize, chat. I am an amateur commentator. I'm doing my best and I'm trying to get better.
It's just a low-key way of saying if you ever race against this guy right here, just tell him to skip Wave Beam. He's going to forget.
I actually find it much easier to maintain what I have to do when I'm running than when I'm commentating.
I agree with that.
And get all your Croc Z's ready.
I like Crocomire. Out of the mini bosses, he's probably my.
I think he's definitely the most interesting, right? Like, it's the only one that isn't just, you know, do damage until they die. You actually can't kill Croc, right? Like, it doesn't matter how much damage you do to him. It's not until he falls into lava that he dies. So he's one of the tougher enemies. He's up there, right up there with Mama Turtle, which will destroy you if you go in there without a suit. Oh, missing that super. Skarsnik needs to be careful here. He doesn't have Charge Beam, and while you don't actually soft lock, it does make the fight really painful.
He thinks he can't do it, but you can farm ammunition off those projectiles.
Yeah, he maybe just doesn't want to bother with how long it would take to farm them.
And so I did not see his last save. Did you?
I mean, if you're gonna do this, you should just reset. Instead of killing yourself. There are no tiles where you need to kill Mother Brain. There are no tiles where you even go to Torian. Though technically, you could visit the critters during escape. Nobody would ever do it. Well, I won't say nobody would ever do it. Oh, okay, he did save actually right before Croc, so that's good. I'm sure there's somebody out here who has done it in a dab race, but it is definitely not fast.
I would hope to not see anyone try to do anything that amusing in a tournament like this. It seems like no one's being extra trolly in the tournament I've seen so far. Everyone respecting their opponent's property.
Well, if Baltazar is watching, I would be totally okay with him doing that in our race that's coming up. I don't believe that the dab board will put Visit the Critters and Skip Speed Booster in the same column. It is technically possible to skip Speed Booster and still visit the critters without finishing the game. But you would have to do some, borderline stuff, some strange things that you're not normally doing.
Yeah, to my knowledge, the bingo board will have logic to avoid anything that is that should be impossible, and it will not force X-ray climbs or anything like that.
Yeah. Or carrying your blue suit back from Dragon all the way to get to the critters. Oh. Skarsnik, reset. There you go. Okay. He's resetting. Maybe he heard me on his last one and he decided that would be faster than taking 20 damage at a time. This is one of those instances where runners may not be used to not having Charge Beam, right? And having to do fights without Charge Beam is, you just... It looks easy, but when you have to actually accomplish it, it can be really tricky.
Yeah, you can take any accomplished runner in this game if they do normal categories, but if you take away Charge Beam or take away High Jump Boots, you will throw them for a massive wrench if you're not ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what Skarsnik can do here, if you're quick, is you can actually get a missile and a super in each time Croc opens his mouth. He is going the safe route of just using missiles. Which, as long as Croc is just going to open his mouth, he's good with that.
Yeah, you do have time to do 2 missiles if you don't want to try for the super thing, but the big thing Skarsnik should be doing is just jumping up to make sure he can get connections, even if once the rocks start.
Yeah. The other thing is, a lot of people complain about Bot Wound's hitbox, but Croc's hitbox is actually pretty jank too. I've definitely, that missile definitely went in Croc's mouth and did nothing. He should be good here if he can just land these supers. It's looking good. I think he's got him. Hope I didn't jinx him. Oh god, what have I done?
Alright, we got it.
Alright, I am so glad he got that last super and I did not jinx him. I would have felt so bad. I know I actually have no power over what Skarsnik does, but I still would have felt bad.
I see in the chat someone clip that as a fun moment. That's something you can do throughout this whole tournament. If you see anything interesting, funny, or exciting, you should clip that so we can get some more hype going for the tournament as we enter the later stages.
Yeah, it looks like Skarsnik's gonna go pick up these Croc power bombs. Might be picking up grapple too. I'm not sure, but he needs. He so far has 0 power bombs, and he needs 8 more packs. So, seems like a good spot to pick up his first pack. Good spot, Zenny.
Did Scar get his speed boost?
I don't know.
He does have to make the choice between grapple and speed.
I also am not sure where he's going. I guess he's picking up grapple instead of speed. So he's going to go bomb jump up here. So that he can pick up grapple. He could have chose to do a green gate glitch and came in the back way. But this bomb jump is a totally reasonable way to do it too. Nope, you can't jump up that high. You got a bomb jump.
And definitely wanted to pick up power bombs so you can make a better run at some of this stuff. But this is going to be difficult to go.
It looks like Becky is going to take on Croc too. She will have a much easier time. She has more ammo. She has gravity. She has charge beam. She has Spazer. I think she picked up Spazer. I could be wrong.
He's got charge beam and ice beam, all sorts of stuff. That is Spazer.
Yeah, Skarsnik go ahead and picks up gravity, or sorry, grapple.
Definitely an interesting choice. I would have thought for that speed booster or grapple beam square, speed booster for sure, but maybe Skarsnik's just a little more familiar with grapple beam strat.
That also means we know Skarsnik is not doing column 2, row 2, or top left, bottom right, since he would need to get speed booster.
As a reminder to some of the viewers, this was a tournament that everyone was just encouraged to enter regardless of skill level, so not everyone is fully experienced with the full depth of tricks that they would.
And Skarsnik, I think, is going to use some intended strats here. Nice. Using the tutorial grapple turtle to get over to those power bombs. I'm trying to see why he would choose to get grapple instead of speed, like you said.
Not being familiar with Shine Sparking is the first thing that comes to mind, but if he has his route is going to have him kill Dragon, maybe he just wants to do the really fun.
That's actually a really good point. Grapple makes Dragon free. Also, well, I guess he could still do that when he can finish the Crystal Flash. He will definitely have enough power bombs for that.
Did Skarsnik get high jump boots, or did he skip high jump boots?
He got high jump boots, I believe.
Because I saw with him using the grapple to get to power bombs, now I'm kind of second guessing myself, because you can just high jump up there, I believe.
I think if you have speed, you can. Yeah, he definitely has high jump boots. Otherwise, you have to wall jump up to get out of Croc. All right, Becky is well on her way. She's got 6 energy tanks. She'll pick up 3 more, and there's 2 really easy ones on the way to Dragon, and there's 2 really, well, not 2 easy ones, but there's 1 easy one on Firefly on the way to Metal Pirates, and then that'll be all of her E-tanks. Oh, Skarsnik is heading... heading down to Lower Norfair, maybe.
Yeah.
That explains why he wanted grapple. To get through that room. I mean, he could have gone around too. But it's one of the reasons he might want grapple.
Definitely possible. I'm curious. I don't know when the last time we saved was. This is not a difficult setup to get this jump through this lava. It can be very dangerous, even if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, he did save before he came this way, so he's got that. But here he goes. Oh, taking that Namehe hit. I don't think he'll have enough to get up there now.
There's a lot of reserves, so he needed to get right there. But
oh, he has two. Oh, so close. All right, you can still make it, Skarsnik.
Oh,
you got it. Oh my god. Oh,
so dramatic.
It's so close. Oh, he almost had it like 3 times. He's
brutal. Definitely a close attempt, though. I thought he had it on the last.
WhiteMageBecky is going into her bot wound fight. Only has 2 supers, so. But she does have charged Ice Wave Spazer, so that is just 10 shots of that, and it's much easier to hit bot wound with Spazer than it is without. Yeah, Mother Brain is never required.
And one good thing about these Bego cards is that it does not matter if you can do the entire game fast. If you know particular tricks, it can give you the advantage. So they're never going to force you to actually beat the game, too. That would make Bego not super amusing, I think.
Skarsnik setting up for his lava dive again. Not quite getting the entry he looked for, but he still has plenty of health. Doesn't have to rush this at all. He's got 200 Mourner's reserves, so just gotta play it cool. Letting his reserves tick down. I'm not sure. Surprised he didn't just manually refill them if he's going to let them tick down.
I am a little trying to figure out the route he's going, though. He's doing a lava dive with the bear is making me think he wants to get the gravity suit or something. I'm trying to figure out what route would make this a better choice.
Well, that's a good question. He got Wave Beam, so he can't do row 5. I can't imagine. I mean, I guess if he's skipping Varia, he could be doing column 3 and doing suitless Meridia Map Station. But yeah, he does need to get a lot of PBs, and so he might want to skip some of the other PBs. So he's going to get the 2 down in Lower Norfair.
Even though that might be a little faster, that's still to me very dangerous to do. Just having to go through Lower Norfair without the gravity suit with the extra damage protection.
You know what he might be doing actually is row 3, and he's just going down to get screw attack. And
it's possible.
If he routed it any other way, he would have to get if he went to get gravity first, he have to come all the way back down to get screw attack, versus just getting it while he's down here. He also picked up a lot of the Brinstar energy missiles. Oh, Skarsnik. Skarsnik is doing an extra jump there. You can actually, with high jump boots, you can wall jump off below the Namehe and get over to the left platform. You don't have to do a bunch of jumps on the right side. It feels scary, I think, sometimes, but you can actually just make that.
I think that is something that you would be less practiced on, because I think most people doing lava dive might be used to not having high jumps while they.
There he goes. Now he's got it. Hey, good job, Skarsnik. And going to take a save here. I don't blame him at all.
Going for that early screw attack definitely could be scary for Skarsnik, because only having 5 super missiles does make a little bit of tension for that green gateway.
Yeah. And Becky has completed her second row and just has to pick up plasma, one more energy tank, and finish in Metal Pirate Room. So she'll be right on the heels of Skarsnik heading down into Lower Norfair here soon. Sanders, that's our likely route, unless there's an energy tank that's more in the way. I can't think of one. I can't think of any other energy tank that she'd do. So that's where I would go for sure.
Good job of the green gate clutch very quickly from Skarsnik.
Yeah, nicely done. Especially scary since I think he only has 3 supers. Yeah, or sorry, 5 supers. So only get 5 chances at that, and it's very easy to miss that 5 times. He is picking up screw attack, so at the very least, he's doing that.
Alright, so that's definitely gotta be a row 3 then, since you can't do column.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, he's gonna have to bomb jump to get out of this area.
He can't wall jump with the high jump boots?
No. Maybe there's a pixel perfect one or pixel and frame perfect one you can do, but I don't think so. And the jump that people normally do, you need speed for. Yeah, he's gonna power bomb and then bomb jump up. I'm sure somebody can wall jump up, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it. You can spring ball jump up. I don't think even in the randomizers I've seen people go down and wall jump out of there. I'm sure somebody in chat will point out that I'm wrong, but
I was just thinking as an idea. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't possible. That is an obnoxious legend.
yeah, it sticks out a lot more than, for instance, the one in Worst Room in the Game, and that one is a pixel perfect, frame perfect jump, or a double frame, triple perfect, ultra jump. Yes, Skarsnik has high jump boots, Miss Metroid. And yeah, he'll get outbound jumping. It's not too bad.
Yeah, very consistent single bomb jumps. There's a rhythm to it that's not particularly difficult to learn. The double ones that go fast, that's much more difficult, and I wouldn't advise that to anyone. I always...
Yeah, and I think he'll probably just head out. Yeah, he is. He's going straight up and out. He just wanted to come down here for screw attack, which I think I get. I'm picking up what he's putting down now. I think I'm on the same page with him.
Yeah, not the route I would have figured, but it definitely makes sense, just given where he was located for after getting.
Yeah, screw attack is something you certainly don't usually have at Fantoon, so that will make that easier. Anti-bingo, it's just double bingo, getting 2 rows, columns, or diagonal, where your opponent has picked one of those for you that you must do. And we got a high 5 at the lava dive room, which is not something that happens very often either. We can see the reverse lava dive. Oh, careful, Skarsnik. Oh, God, no.
A little too aggressive with how fast he wanted to go.
He did just save, so he doesn't have to worry too much about it. He didn't lose very much time there, but this is deceptively damaging, and especially those Namehes with just Varia do 100 damage apiece. And Becky is going through Lower Norfair with basically 100% items here. She didn't pick up ice, so that's the only thing she's missing that she would normally have. I don't think that will slow her down much at all.
I believe she did pick up ice, and she just turned it off.
Okay. Good point. She needs to pick up ice. It's required. So I'm glad she picked it up. She's not using it right now. She hasn't turned it back on, and she has no need for it.
Yeah, she was using it during the Batu fight and turned it off to kill the enemies faster, so they don't have to freeze and you have to do 2 shots instead of 1.
Yeah, I think she actually also turned it off for Dragon, so she could X Factor. It turned off Spazer at the same time, and then when she picked up Plasma, now she knows Plasma.
Skarsnik gets out of the lava dive.
Yeah, dodges those flames quite nicely. And Becky is going to pick up her last E-Tank and head down to Metal Pirate Room.
A very good route from Becky. Able to execute the hard part of the early game, but just everything else made perfect sense. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. She killed 3 bosses, and she's going to be done in under 50 minutes. She'll have a low 46 probably. So very, very quick run, very nicely routed.
It is so deceptive for me watching Skarsnik because you see the jump, you think, "Oh, I got space jump." No, it just looks like it. Yeah, skip charge beam is definitely one of the squares that you have to be ready for it to not affect you. Otherwise, a lot of runners got to do some very big deviations on what they need to do. Yeah, GG to Becky, finishing with a very strong time.
Yeah, an official SRL time of 47:06. Had a little bit of trouble dot dunning because she has awesome, cool teal text in IRC, but we'll win this race with a really nicely routed bingo card here.
Alright, we do see Skarsnik going back now, so it does look like he is going to get those 60 burn stars. So row 3 is pretty much confirmed.
Yep.
Now the question I have is, he went down to get the screw attack, but didn't get any of the power bombs when he was down there. So how is he going to get the Meridia power bombs?
He'll get gravity first. I mean, he has to get the map station anyway, so.
Okay.
He'll go up through Brinstar, and then go to Wreck Ship, get gravity, and then clean up, grab the power bombs in Meridia. He has to get the map station and all the Wreck Ship missiles as well. So.
Well, that makes sense.
And he still has he has a total of 6 tanks right now, so he needs 5 more. But plenty of options for those to pick up as well. 40 PBs does suck. I think 40 PBs. I had a race earlier today where I had 125 missiles, and I think I would rather have 125 missiles than 40 PBs by a long shot.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, 40 PBs. The collection goals is one of the most obnoxious in my mind.
Oh, okay, he did make it.
Right. So to address the chat a little bit, a lot of these matches don't end in really landslide victories. It's like you said, it is early in the tournament, and we have a lot of entrants, which is a fantastic thing. But that does mean that skill isn't quite as even. Later in the tournament, you'll have much closer races.
And it is random seeding, so because there's really no other way to seed dab, we can't there's no dab leaderboard, right, to use for seeding. You can't really use your any percent time because that's not always indicative of what your dab prowess would be. So they just went with randomized seeding, which seems fine. And there's going to be some lopsided matches, and also some matches where the outcome is not as expected. We've had a lot of very close races as well.
Yeah, it's important just to remember that even though there is going to be a little bit off seating and maybe some unside match, people are in this for fun and having a good time. And lesser skilled runners, they're still going to show you how fun bingo can be. It's not about just being great at all this stuff. Seeing a different route, a different way to play the game. Everyone should try bingo dab at least once if you've run this game at all or have any interest in it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think, yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of the best race experiences because the routes are so different, and you're impacting your opponent by choosing the row and column for them, versus, for instance, 100% race where you don't really have any interaction with your opponent. You basically are just running against yourself and hoping you have a better time. So I think it's a fantastic format. I'm really glad we're doing a dab tournament, and I would encourage everybody. Like, you don't even have to do a dab race. Just bring up a card. You could even just randomly pick a row, and then try and find one that goes well with it and route it out. And it's a lot harder than you think. Yeah. Shout outs to Real Cutie who. Speaking of close races, our first round matchup was decided by 12 seconds. So, yeah, Becky's not moving because she's accomplished all her goals. And if she leaves that room, she will have to undone and get back there before Skarsnik finishes.
It is too late to join this tournament, but this is not the first, and it certainly won't be the last.
So, the Brinstar missiles that Skarsnik needs to still pick up, there are Old Mother Brain and Billy Mays. And I think that might be it. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. The ante part for double anti-bingo. It's a double bingo because you have to do 2 rows. The ante is your opponent's picking one of them for you.
I feel like I know Farrell's probably not here because it's like 2 a.m, or whatever in where he is. I feel like we should just add that explanation to the bottom right side of the card, because it's asked about 20 times every match.
Yeah, just an indie overlay.
Yeah, Skarsnik has to get these power bombs. He skipped both Lower Norfair power bombs, so he has to get every other power bomb in the game. There'll be these criteria PBs, and then 5 in Brinstar, some of which he's already gotten, and then 1 in Meridian.
I appreciate the caution here, even though there's the screw attack still being extra super safe at this.
Yeah, you're right, Zelgo. This and he, or sorry, who pointed out my wrongness? Mystic Health. Old Northern Brain's criteria. So I think it's just Billy Mays then that he has left. I think he got all of the ones in Pink Brinstar. He got all the ones in Green Brinstar. Got the Kraid missiles. So I think it's just the 2 at Billy Mays.
Alright, so you see Skarsnik going back, going a different route than I would be expecting. Still, he's throwing me for some loops with some of the routing, but it's been exciting.
I'm guessing he's going to go do wreck shit. So he'll go do that, and that's why he saved, because I don't care how many E-tanks you have, Phantoon can still kill you. So he's going to go do that, and then do the Brinstar missile cleanup. Would Doug Polk give up? No, Doug Polk would not give up. Doug Polk would continue grinding out that life, and neither should Skarsnik. Skarsnik should not give up either.
That's actually been one of my favorite things watching some of these races. There's been a lot of races with a death or two, someone clearly, like, the race is over, everyone still tries and wants to finish the race, and even if there's a death, that's not enough to be like any percent race where it's like I died at Crate, it is forfeit. They don't care. Like everyone's trying their best, and you should be encouraging both runners and throwing them both a follow. They deserve it.
Yeah, Doug Polk is a professional Warcraft 3 player who happens to also play cards. The ocean, you know, we talk a lot about CWJ, but these jumps on the ocean, even with grapple beam, are still tough. I think actually grapple beam is the only time I like using grapple beam is when I'm doing suitless Meridia, because it doesn't ever feel like I'm in control of it.
Yeah, I'd never want to use this thing if I can avoid it.
He has made it and is on his way into wreck ship.
And he's not forgetting the wreck ship message before he turns the power on, boys.
Yeah, this is I actually refer to this as the spiky room of death 2. If you turn the power on before you go in here, I think it's actually worse. I think it's harder than the actual spiky room of death. Because a lot of those platforms only go halfway down for some reason, and those conveyor belts are moving, and all of the spikes do, with Varia would do 30 damage, I think. Or 50? Maybe it's 50. I think these are bad spikes. I don't remember. Anyway, I died there in a dab race once, and it was very sad.
I've never been in that room with the power on, so I know it's dangerous, but I wouldn't know how much. I'd be very sad to find out.
Oh, getting his super sniped by the eyeball. But he's doing a smart thing here. He's saving one super so that he can use it on Fantoon. A lot of your first instinct sometimes is to just use up that last super, and then you come into this fight and realize you don't have one, which can be really annoying.
Do you have any tricks for Fantoon when you're doing Doppler to know? Is there like a color that you're looking for that says he's ready for the super to execute, so you don't have this happen?
No. When you practice it enough, you can generally tell how many missiles you got in on each Doppler, and so you just know by health.
In case anyone didn't know, Fantoon does take double damage from a super missile, but then he gets really mad at you for using it. So if you don't kill him with it, he's gonna play jump rope for a while.
Well, Nintendo Power strats. Nintendo Power encouraged you to kill him with 5 supers. I don't know why they would do such a thing.
What? Classic 5-round. That seems pretty reasonable.
5-round with an enrage between every round. Seems terrible.
Yeah, maybe Nintendo Power just wanted it to feel like a very epic boss fight with multiple phases.
Yeah, it is very safe, especially with screw attack, because during the enrage you can just screw attack through all the flames. And Fantoon is almost dead. I bet he wishes he still had that extra super.
Well, he wouldn't be almost dead if he didn't already use it.
That is, you make a good point. Yeah, you can do the same thing with a pseudo screw. And Fantoon down. Good job, Skarsnik. Any fight that ends with a flashing, exploding ghost elephant is a good fight in my book.
Any race where Fantoon doesn't make any runner forfeit, that's a good race in my book. I'm definitely curious to see how much easier some of these rooms are with screw attack. I can't remember the last time I've been in here with. To my knowledge, that the screw attack will go through some of the blocks, but not all of them. I'm not sure if you could actually do what he was trying to do there with the screw attack, or if he was just.
This will get Skarsnik his 15 supers on his way to finishing row 3.
Oh yeah.
Skarsnik will also have the pleasure of doing attic with screw attack, which feels good. Feels good, man.
See, that's the thing I was talking about, but looks like he's going to try to get that E-Tank a little early. Which, this is deceptively difficult. Messing up once usually means you die, which is why I did do that safety save before coming.
Yeah, this is the original spiky room of death that, you know, you have to get through without gravity.
I can't do this room if I don't damage boost my way through it.
It's actually, I think, harder, by the way, with high jump.
We got lots of reserves, so that's fine. Lots of reserves. That's a good feeling. He's trying to brute force it.
Just, I mean, once he gets through, he will get a health refill at the energy tank, so this is all fine. He's good. He could also Crystal Flash if he wants to.
Move you don't see very often unless you watch certain particular insane categories.
Yeah, his energy is too high now, but he could damage himself down a little bit. And now it's full.
Even little rooms like this navigating through the water in situations is why anyone doing these kind of bigger races, there's always going to be little stuff that you'd be like, yeah, that is hard. I can appreciate it.
Yeah, the room's not that bad. It gets its name from the 100% route, which is generally going through there with, I think, 3 energy tanks, and you're doing it after you fought Fantoon, so sometimes, you know, you're lower on health. And those platforms are the real problem. Like, hitting the spikes, not too bad. The platforms are what will kill you, especially if you can't go through them and take a couple hits.
Yeah, that's the thing I've definitely seen happen. If you have to clip through them, then you're gonna be in water, you're gonna be underneath. It's just very hard to fix if that situation goes. I get to watch the glory of screw attack in the attic. Doug Poke, if you're interested in learning how to speedrun Super Metroid, there's tons of fantastic tutorials on YouTube, both old style routes and new. So there's plenty of resources. If you want to give it a shot, you just got to give it a little bit of your time.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a super welcoming community. There's a speed gaming Discord and a Super Metroid Discord and a bunch of other smaller Discords. Just start running. You'll probably have 5 or 6 of the runners hop into your channel and start talking to you and helping you out and giving you advice. I found that as soon as I started speedrunning Super Metroid, people were popping in offering me help, and it's been great to be a part of this community. Uh, World record for Super Metroid is Behemoth at 40:56, I want to say.
Or 40 something. Well, only 40 on Deer Tier, I believe.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, by the way. I can't believe the game got that low.
Yeah, it was amazing to watch Behemoth push that record down, and a little insane to see how few mistakes there are in that run.
I just remember you go back a couple of years, and it felt like some of these times like this weren't even remotely possible. So the fact that they keep finding new stuff and executing better, just it's unbelievable to see what these.
All right, Skarsnik gonna have time to check his Twitter DMs while he rides us down. He'll have to grab the missile. That'll be his last venture in wreck ship, unless he he can't actually get the reserve tank. He doesn't have speed, so that's going to be all he's doing here.
I find there's just enough time with the bullying cutscene to go get your celebration beer for beating Fantasy.
You have to bomb that square, Skarsnik.
Maybe he's stopping for that beer, but the fridge is a little further away.
He's still finishing the the Twitter DM reading, or yeah, stop that beer. Admiring his timer. Good old.
This is something
FF8.
you might still see this occasionally with FF8. Jesus, you might see stuff like this if you watch these races. Though, if there's occasionally an item, maybe you're not 100% where it is. Pulling up the map, no shame. Better you take that pause and find out where it is. So if you ever watch a race and someone just kind of stops for a little bit, they're probably pulling up the map.
Yeah, I mean, we even saw some of the top runners like Farrell go into the wrong room for the missile refill in Brinstar. So even top runners who aren't used to it, like, you just don't go in some of these rooms ever. So I believe Behemoth also has the 100% world record. But yeah, Deer Tier will have all the updated actual records. All right, there is the last wreck ship missile for Skarsnik. Oh, he also has 5+ energy tanks. Yeah, 114.33. That sounds right.
So it looks like he's going to be heading back down to Brinstar now. Plenty more collection to go. Bunch of missiles, getting some more power bombs. Lots of things.
Yeah, it really doesn't have that much left. It's basically all missile and power bomb collection, you know, an energy tank. But it's all that stuff is all together. So he's gonna run through Brinstar, and then run through Meridia, grab the power bomb in Meridia, and maybe end at the map station.
Yeah, I'm trying to count up what kind of E-tanks he might get because he's not getting the gauntlet one. Or did he do that earlier?
I don't think he got Gauntlet, but he has 7 right now, so he needs 4 more. So he'll probably get Edikun, Wavegate.
Yeah, you can't do the waterway.
Nope, can't do Waterway, but Edikun, Wavegate, Mama Turtle, and let's see, what else could he get? Could get Meridia Reserve if he wants to go through the sand pits twice.
No one wants to go through those sand pits twice. Come on. Even people play 100% probably groan every time they're falling to that second sand.
Oh, you know what? He has to go get Billy Mays missiles. So, did he already get Sealing Tank? Yeah, he went. I think he went back down and got Sealing Tank. Or am I thinking of a different run? They're all blending together at this point.
I know exactly what you mean. Too many runs with too many different conditions. It's hard to remember sometimes.
Yeah, if he didn't get Sealing Tank, I would guess he would route that one in. Because he needs to get that power bomb anyway, and he needs those missiles. So
that
no,
one would
fit really. Oh, did he fall?
He fell.
Oh, this, by the way, was a trap save if you played this game casually. I saved down here, and if you don't understand that the Edikuns are trying to teach you how to wall jump, you're just stuck, and you can't get out. And you have to start the whole game over.
Yeah, this is, when I had this happen, I remember saying, oh, I guess I'm trapped, and I reset. Just reset the game.
Yep.
You can't force me to learn game.
Well, I mean, if you don't even understand, like, I'm like, why are these guys jumping off the wall? Like, it doesn't. Nothing in the manual, nothing talks about wall jumping. So if you didn't get that they were trying to teach you, then you just were stuck.
Want to be the designer that made that trap. Like, were they like this will be great, or were they like laughing like, oh, this will show?
Yeah, well, it had there was a very similar screen, I believe, in the original Metroid, if I remember right. So I'm sure they were like, well, we got to put this one somewhere.
That's the only Metroid game I've never significantly played, so I have no idea. Skarsnik unable to go visit the other critter just for fun, which is a shame.
He could moon dance and get down there, but he would then be stuck. So I don't recommend that. Skarsnik does not have to do the gate glitch since he has wave. Actual intended strats, what is this?
Skarsnik's run has been quite the... It looks like a demo reel at some points, with grapple beam where you should be using it, and all sorts of stuff. Nintendo's very proud. So now it looks like he's going up to get those power bombs to the left.
Shoutouts to lawn work.
Scar did get all direction missiles. It just has not been marked.
That's weird. I marked it on the bingo sync. I'm not sure why it's not coming up.
Yeah, so he just got the pipe missiles. Looks like he's going back up to get all the stuff in Retro Brinstar now. So I think that's going to complete all the Brinstar goals. Can't remember if he got everything by crit. Yeah, I think he got the missiles by crit.
Yeah, he got the missiles by Kraid. These should be the last ones he has left.
I assume that's not the case, but all of our runners are trying to complete things and do their best job. No one's here just trying to troll it up. So we're not concerned about that happening.
Yeah, I don't think. I think if we saw somebody intentionally like avoiding completing or, you know, like trying to go for blackout and like skipping all the squares that could finish it for them, we'd probably just cut the restream and go on with our lives. At least that's what I would do.
Even little rooms like this, when you don't have the items you're used to, like not having a speed booster here for the Shine Spark, kind of hard to remember how to get through something.
But how will we get over the spikes? Oh, it's the invisible bridge. It's amazing. How did he know it was there without X-ray?
Do you see that with X-ray?
You do, actually.
I had no idea.
If
Wow,
you
that's
go in there with
awesome.
X-ray, you can see the bridge. All right, that is all the Brinstar missiles.
I believe so. I'm trying to remember. And I think he's at 35 PPs, just needs the Murdy ones now.
Yes, that should be his last power box as well. And he has 9 tanks, so he will pick up. Okay, so get the ceiling one, and then I believe probably Mama Turtle will be the last one he gets.
Makes sense to me, unless he wants to do the double trip through the sand for the extra reserve.
Yeah, he did not visit G4. No.
Yeah, no particular reason to.
Yeah.
This freaking timer. What is happening on this timer?
It's cosmic brain, that's all.
Scar is a runner, not deterred. He wants to finish and do his best job. He doesn't care that he's taking a little bit of time. And I appreciate that. You guys get to watch more Super Metroid. You should be hyped up. There's more happening.
Heck yeah, and I guess while Scars is finishing up, let's take a look at the schedule. I think there's some more runners, some more races still today.
I think there's one later this evening, yes.
Yeah, there's one at 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, Kip versus Polar Bear Bunny. So that should be a fun one to watch too. There is 2 Polar Bear Bunny. You got this. Shh. Don't let
That's
Kip
scheduled for
intimidate
about
you.
an hour and a half from now, so you guys will have time. Go get some dinner, come back, just spend your Memorial Day with us if you live in the States, or spend your Monday with us if you live somewhere else.
Yeah, and of course there's likely several other things going on Speed Gaming on the various Speed Gaming channels. So make sure you check those out as well. A lot of good tournaments going on all the time on Speed Gaming. That could technically happen, Spaghetti.
I know I've definitely done bingos before and got the item I was supposed to skip and just had to restart on.
Oh, so close. Thank you, Mama Turtle, for providing a lift to our runner.
Oh, Jesus, this looks impossible.
Oh god, it's like a carnival ride. And let go. Nice done.
I genuinely did not know you can do a full 360. I learned.
Oh yeah, you can keep spinning all day. Last thing our runner needs to do is collect the last power bomb and go to Meridia Map Station. So I think Skarsnik is like the king of intended strats right now. It got some intended grapple beam, intended wave gate.
Yeah, intended except the lava dives get screw attack.
Was that not intended? I don't. They didn't.
No,
They
actually,
didn't intend you to go there.
he doesn't want to do the intended grapple strats here. Going for the gravity jump instead. Boring.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see any gravity jump, and I didn't see this one either.
Yeah, your stream froze. I guess.
Yeah. He must have used grapple to get up there. I didn't see anything. He wouldn't do anything not intended by the game. 100% agree, Michael K. I totally agree.
Absolutely. I'm much more scared of a runner that's a couple minutes slower, but they can fully do everything they want to do. No having to look up tutorials, no getting lost, just they know it all.
And Skarsnik choosing to go down the correct pit. This is one of those things that I think a lot of people, if you don't run 100 or you're not used to the major minor item swap type randos, you might not even know which one the power bomb is in.
Yeah, I got the item map bookmarked on my phone. I always look it up for this one because I always get them confused.
I hate sand so much.
Definitely annoying. At least the way to leave the room is directly below that pit. That would have been very troll.
Looks like Skarsnik's going to go intended route. I don't even know if that is the intended route. I guess it must be.
I have no idea.
Oh, wanted to go intended route. The tricky thing that is kind of unintuitive with this, which is the same, it'd be the same strategy as Alcatraz, which I think Skarsnik also avoided, is after you wall jump, you only have to push down once to morph. A lot of people think it's more button presses than that. Basically, just wall jump off and kind of roll it to down, and you'll morph. There, you got it. Nice.
Yeah, I kind of do it like a Hadoken in Street Fighter. Is the way I describe it.
Oh, my dog.
Your dog sounds like it's 20 feet tall.
He is tiny. And I think wants to go outside, but he can wait until Skarsnik gets to Meridia Map Station.
Absolutely.
This is the worst room to have to deal with sand, I think.
Yeah, these are definitely not fun.
That is a redundant question. Being a dog means he is a good dog. All dogs are good dogs.
Alright, Skarsnik gets the map station, knows exactly where he goes. Doesn't need to actually use it, but using it just
Yeah, and Skarsnik has done in an official SRL time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 45 seconds. GG to Skarsnik. Nice job finishing that up. Also finishing in backwards 9, backwards 6, 5, 44 something, and I believe that's a Fluttershy image somewhere in there too. It is indeed confusing, Skarsnik is.
kudos for you for sticking it out and just getting the job done. I'm very impressed with all these runners and your determination to finish these races.
Yeah, very nicely done. And counting your energy tanks and reserve tanks correctly. And remembering that all the things you have to skip, because even as commentators, as a commentator, I cannot remember all the things people have to skip and what they can't do.
All right, so that was a fun race to watch. Some strategy you don't see super often, which I'm always a fan of to watch some things. And regardless that there's a bit of a skill difference, it was still very enjoyable for me to watch. I was glad to come.
Yeah, thank you for co-commentating with me. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Shift, you are right. This stuff can be hard. These tricks, and even like basic movement without some of the items, this game is no joke when you're trying to cut corners. So, hope everyone can appreciate the skill of all the runners doing this, regardless of what the actual end result.
Yeah, and do make sure to give these runners a follow. Put themselves out there for some entertainment, for your enjoyment. And I know they'd appreciate the one click, smash that follow button for them.
And also a shout out to our tracker that was helping us out today. I don't remember who it is though.
It was Link40 was our tracker. I think if we do !C, that'll come up. Yeah, there we go.
Fantastic. Give him a follow too. Commentating without the tracking would make this so much more confusing. So he's the real hero, other than our two.
Yeah, they do like I'm amazed with our trackers at how well they can track other people's, like, two runners going at once. It's crazy. All right. Well, I think that is it for me. I think we're gonna wrap up here. Thanks again to our runners. Thanks again to chat. Hope you guys had a good time. I'm gonna head out. Please, as I said, make sure to follow these runners. Follow SpeedGaming. Most of all, follow your hearts, and I will see you all later.
Yep, a reminder that there is a race at 7 o'clock tonight. That's in a little over an hour. So go get dinner, come back here for some more racing action. Now you guys know what DAB is. You don't have to ask all the time. But please come on back and check it out.